It's better now. So, okay. By this way,
Musa, I think you may have to start over again because you've been speaking on one page for the past 5 to 6 minutes.
okay. So
I'm sure they missed the screens. Yeah.
Okay. So this is okay, right? Now it's okay, right? Is everybody okay with the screen now? Is everybody okay with the screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's better.
It would have been better in presentation mode, but for now, maybe you're having problems. So let's use this.
Yeah, because I put it was in presentation mode, but unfortunately you were not seeing it. I don't know what the challenge is.
I think you are sharing a window in your screen, not your entire screen.
Okay, I'm sharing a window, right? I'm coming.
Yes, yes, you are sharing the PPT window. You're not sharing the entire screen. So when you're changing, we only see
Okay.
the
Let me go back.
Yes, sir.
Let me go back and do the sharing properly. Okay. That okay. Share screen or windows. Okay.
Share entire screen.
Entire screen. Okay. All right. All right.
That's option. Share entire screen.
Okay. Yes, I've clicked on share entire screen. It's on share entire screen, but okay. All right. Share entire screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How about now? You see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes. Now we see your screen. So now when you
Now
go to the PPT and you put it in presentation, it will be visible.
okay. So let me go to the. How about now?
Yes, sir.
Still
Now
visible. Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So maybe we can now start the recording. Maybe we can stop the recording and start again, or because I want it to be as brief as possible. Barcelom.
You continue, Alaji.
I should
don't
continue.
noted. Please continue.
All right. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So okay. So like I said, when you log in, okay, when you open the app, this is the first screen that you see, okay, and then over here you have to configure it with this IP address, okay, exactly as it takes. Okay, I'm sure you can all see the IP address, right? Can you all see the IP address? You can see it. Okay, good.
Yes, Mr. Musa, we can see.
So you enter your username and your password, okay, then you log in. Now when you log in, this is what you see. Top there you see query order, and then we have order ID, we have order date. Okay, these are the what you call the most important fields. Okay,
yes,
now
sir.
if you
Yes,
look at here, this dark corner where the cursor is, when you click on it, you have other options. Just select all. So when you select all, you see that the order date will be all. Okay, so that you can get all the work orders created for the account. Okay, all right. So then now where we have the order ID, you enter the FIBRE number there. Okay, then you come down here and click on query. When you click on query, this is what you see. So you see the order list. Okay, over here you see all the work orders that have been created for that particular account. Okay, always click on the first one. Okay, choose the first one. That is always the latest. Okay, all right. So when you click on that one, this is what you see. So it will give you the order details, as you can see it here. Now, at the order details, when you look here, there are some 3 dots. You all see where the cursor is. Now, when you click there, okay, this is what you see. You will see report SN. Okay, then you click on the report SN. and then it will give you this screen. So you just enter the SN, that's the serial number of the ONT you are going to bind. Okay, you just enter this one, and then when you are done, so this is what we have here. So we have entered the serial number. When you are done, you click on bind. I think you see, okay, exactly. Do you see? So you click on bind. Okay, you click on bind. When you click on bind, so this is what you see running in background. In fact, if it goes through successfully, this is what you see. Binding to order succeeds. Then you click OK. So this is exactly what you are supposed to do. It's not anything, strange. So if you have any questions, these are the very screens that you'll be seeing,
Yeah, Alaji.
Thank you. Yeah,
please,
I'm
I have
listening.
a
Yes.
question.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
So apparently I tried it this afternoon.
Okay.
And I got an error message.
Okay. Good.
So I wanted to know why the error message. Is it that there's something to be done at the back office that is not done, or what would the case be? Because I checked the power, and then the power was intact, and then I didn't know why.
Okay. So so this is a home connection, right? It's not, what do you call it, a relocation. It's a home connection, right? So meaning this is the first time we are binding the account, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Usually, okay, when you query and then you get the work order and you go through successfully and you click on bind and you get an error message, what it means is that there is issue with the power. Usually, that is what it means. It means the ONT is not discoverable. Okay, it means the ONT is not discoverable, because if the power and everything is okay, as soon as you click on bind, it will go through successfully. There will be no any distance. Okay. So normally, when we are binding and we get those errors, we tell the engineer to optimize the power. And when they optimize the power, you see that when you bind, it just goes through successfully. And then sometimes too, when you are binding and you are facing such a challenge, you may also, maybe if you have a spare ONT, you can also try to change the ONT and see if what do you call it, it will pick. Sometimes we do encounter, there are instances like that we have seen before, a rebinding, where the ONT, doesn't pick pause, everything is okay, but after we change the ONT, it binds.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question is, okay, what is the minimum power you're supposed to get at the customer end before the binding can be done? That's my first question. And two,
okay,
after it has successfully been bind, if the customer has data, can the customer browse straight ahead, or need to call for any further assistance?
Okay, it depends. When it binds successfully, okay, if the credit has been loaded already, the customer should be able to browse right away. Okay, but if the credit has not been loaded, then that is when maybe the customer will have challenge. Okay, so I don't know how they do it, but ideally they should have linked the customer's account, to the FIBRE number, okay, so that he can confirm whether he has got whether the data has been loaded on his account. You get me? And normally what you do is that when you dial *5057# *5057#, that is if the account is linked, and then you dial this one, you will see, you will go through the steps and you can check what do you call it, your balance to see. Okay. So in fact, if the binding goes through successful and the customer is not able to browse, then the only thing is that maybe the data has not been loaded. That is all. Otherwise, it should work.
Okay. And I said two questions. I said, what's the minimum power you're supposed to get before the binding coming down successfully?
At least, I think, you know, it's interesting. Sometimes the power may be out of range, it will bind. And sometimes the power, you know, is within range, it may not bind. You get me? You know, if you look at from here, the range is -7 to what do you call it? -29. That is what we see here. -7 to -29. So anything within this range should bind. Okay. But sometimes there are instances where it is even out of range, but it will bind. And other instances, it will not bind. That one, you know, but just make sure that, you know, at least you have maybe 27, -27, you know, at least, let's say below -27 should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say you have 27, 26, or you know, and also you should have maybe -7 or -8, you know, within that range, you know, because it is from -7 to -29. That is the range. Okay. So any value within this range should be fine.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to ask. Okay, all right. Thank you, Elijah.
You're welcome, Chief.
All right, let's have the next question from Felix.
Yeah,
Felix.
so I have a question.
Hello.
Okay, you can proceed and then I'll.
All right, mine is not actually a question, but I just wanted to throw more light on what Musa said. So with the binding, right? Even when you are patching the ONT and it's not patched well, you are not going to be able to bind. Aside the fact that you are going to get your power is in range and all that, if the ONT is not patched well, that means, like when the patch cord is not connected properly to the ONT, you are not going to be able to bind. And then also, there are two error messages that you have to pay attention to. One of them, I have it off head. The one that will be specific, that either check the ONT power or check the SN. Those ones mostly is because either the SN is not correct, your power is out of range, or the ONT is not patched well. If all these things are done properly, if all these things are in line, you are not supposed to get that error message. That is how the OM has been programmed. And then at times too, it's a software. So you might be doing it, it's not working. But then when you log out and log in again, it will work. So that is what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Felix. Adamu.
Yes. I think what Felix said, you know, sometimes when the SN you enter is wrong, you know, it will also not bind. So you make sure that you enter the correct SN. Okay, if you enter a wrong SN, it will not bind. Okay. All right. So when we are entering the SN, let's be careful.
Musa, one more thing, one last thing.
Okay.
So there's going to be a time when you input the order ID, that is the MSISDN, and then you search, you are not going to find any number or any name in that set button. You are going to get 0. That is because that account has not been created in the iBridge. If I say iBridge, OM is also linked to the iBridge. So all the customers are supposed to be, all the accounts are supposed to be created in the iBridge before you are able to bind in the OM. So when the account is not created in the iBridge, when you search in the OM, you are not going to find any data concerning that fiber broadband, fiber number. So that one too has to be noted.
Okay. Yes, that's very true. So, like I said, okay, when you query, okay, when you enter your the fiber number, and then you select all, and you query, okay, you see something like this. This is what you are supposed to see. You have to see the order list like this, okay. So with this particular account, the fiber number, okay, we have 2 accounts created for it. But if the account has not been created, like what you call, like Felix said earlier on, you will not get anything here. The order list, you see that is 0. So but you can see that the query, we have 2 orders, isn't it? Query 2 orders. Okay. At this place, you see 0. That is if the if the work order has not been created. So anytime you query and you get 0, know that it has not been created. So you can also call the NOC and ask them to create the work order for you. Okay, so let's take note of this. It's very, very important. So when you query and then you see 0, but you may also get 0 if you don't type the fiber number, correctly. If you type a wrong fiber number in your query, you get 0. So please, when we are typing the fiber number, make sure that we type the correct fiber number before we query, okay, so that we can get the order list. Okay, and like I said, if you have multiple work orders created, just choose the top one. It is always the latest. Okay. All right. What else?
Adamu.
Yeah. Can I be heard, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so with the app, which I was trying to download and install, but then I was getting some feedback. This app was built for an older version of Android. I'm using the Android version 14. So it's not allowing me to install. The other feedback I was getting was app not install as app isn't compatible with your phone. So in that instance, what do we do? Or is there a new version? Is there a new version coming which is going to be installed?
Well, to be honest, currently this is the only version we have. And before, I know currently you are all aware of the current trade war between China and US. Okay, before Huawei phones were running on Android. Okay, so at that point in time, the the software was being updated regularly. Okay, but now that with this trade war between this and currently, although it is still running on Android, but it doesn't. We don't have the latest version to support it has not been upgraded, or let me say updated, to support the latest version of Android, you see. So that may be a challenge. But for now, in fact, that is what we have. So I don't know.
I'm asking because the phone I'm using is the latest version. I'm sure that most of us who are using the Tecno Spark 30, yes, it is on the latest version, which is Android version 14.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's not compatible with the
Oh, I see.
Adamu, I think you can still go ahead. It's just going to flag it as safety risk, but you can still do it. We have the same for the ODN app.
No, it's not true.
I tried it. It flagged it.
It's not
working. When you try, okay. Look, I'm coming. So with some phones, you see the feedback that comes at the end. You see install anyway. I get it. Let me read. Let me read the whole feedback. They say this app was built for an older version of Android and doesn't include the latest privacy protections. Installing this app may put your device at risk. Learn more about Play Protect. Install anyway. And a normal circumstance, when you click on install anyway, it's supposed to install for you. because you have read the risk instructions.
Exactly.
So when you click on the install anyway, the feedback is app not installed as app isn't compatible with your phone.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is new. Alaji, kindly look into this and let's get feedback tomorrow.
Okay.
I think sometimes check permission from your WhatsApp. Probably maybe allowing WhatsApp to install from unknown sources too. I think I had the same feedback.
Chairman, I have done that, so I have to install it on my old phone. I'm having an old phone, so I have to install it on my old version, version 12. I have to install it on my Android version 12. I've done those
and
ones.
it's working.
So yes, and it is working. So I think it has to do with the current version. I'm sure. So they have to look into it.
Okay.
So
Well, to be honest, to be honest, okay, to get the current version, that will be very difficult. Okay, if not impossible currently, because looking at what is going on currently, okay, this thing is running on Android, and Android and what do you call it, Huawei, they have their own issues, you see. So what we'll do is, if like we can get phones that support the lower versions of Android, maybe that will do for the work. That will do for the work.
I have a
Alaji,
question.
regardless, I think we can still engage R&D or GTAC concerning this. Maybe they have some solution in regards to that.
Okay, no problem. It's well noted. It's well noted.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. It's well noted.
All right. Thank you, Alaji. Solomon.
No, this Emmanuel. I wanted to ask a question.
Hello.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Yeah. So,
did you call Solomon?
Solomon, hold on. Emmanuel, you can continue.
Okay. So, my question is, I know with the ONT, the LED indication light also speaks a lot. Let's say there's an issue with the power or the cable itself, to indicate a red light on the loss. And then probably after installation, and if it's not binded, the phone will be blinking, right? So is there a way there could be a power instability or something where the phone will be blinking, stating that probably the power is okay for you to buy?
Oh yes. It's very, very interesting. Okay, sometimes the power can even be negative 36. Okay, but when you look on the ONT, you see green. Okay, but it will be green and to go to red. Yes, we have that kind of, what do you call it, instances. Yeah, sometimes although you are seeing green, the power is out of range, but with time it will also come back to red. So sometimes it behaves that way. So just the light indicator is not enough. You have to actually confirm, ensure the reading
from your power meter.
Exactly, from your power meter. Sure.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Chief.
Thank you. Solomon.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we have your question?
Yeah, good evening. My ask is what are some of the instances that make you will see that the pawn is stable, it is binded, and the data too is loaded but cannot browse? Is it feasible?
Okay. Yes. Yes, we sometimes encounter such a challenge. Okay. Data has been loaded. Yes. Binding has also gone through successful, but yet customer is unable to browse. Usually when that happens, it means the account has not been properly configured. Okay. So sometimes what we do is that we send a mail to MTN IT, okay, for them to add the offer ID. Okay, so sometimes, yes, sometimes even their existing accounts. I don't know why we face this challenge, but an existing account which is working, but maybe sometimes when the person recharge, maybe it delays. I don't know, but it delays to add the offer ID. So sometimes you have a complaint like that, and we have to send a mail to IT for them to add the offer ID. Depending on the package, if it's unlimited, maybe they may have to add unlimited offer ID, or maybe a normal distant offer ID. You see, so yes, sometimes we encounter that. So if you have confirmed that the data has been loaded, okay, and the binding has gone through, but still customer is unable to browse, yes, you can contact NOC so that we'll also look at it for you, please.
Okay, well noted.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, my question is, I have this customer at Chado.
Okay.
I'm not able to, power is good. So I know everything is correct, but burning is becoming a problem. So I don't know, as the senior man spoke earlier on by some hybrid, maybe I don't know whether there's a problem. So this is what I'm encountering.
Okay. So like we said, so first of all, what we'll do is that, okay, you can send the serial number to NOC. Okay. What we'll do is that we'll check. We'll use the serial number to check whether it's discoverable. Okay. If it's discoverable, then in that instance, we may do manual binding. But if it's not discoverable, then then it means it has to do with either you have to optimize the power, or maybe you have to change the ONT. Because if it is not discoverable, there is nothing we can do. But with the serial number, we're able to check. It's a very simple, what do you call it? We just check to see whether it's discoverable. You see it's within seconds. If it's discoverable, we can do manual binding. But those ones, it's once a while. It's once a while, yeah. Yeah.
So meaning every DP or FET now is ready for binding.
Yes. In fact, to be honest with you, with the home connections, okay. In fact, most of the time, before, in fact, the accounts are always created. You get me? The accounts are created ahead of installation. That is what I know. Okay. That is what I know. So most of the time, when in fact, sometimes when engineers call, and then if we know that is what you call it, it's a home connection, we don't waste time to create work order. No. Because you just query, we just log into the OM app. Okay, you query this in the work order, you see that it has been created already. So that one day, I want to assure you that in fact the work orders are created ahead of time before even the installations are done. Yeah. In fact, that is a normal thing.
Because now I was thinking, because of the new deployment, maybe they are not done with some of the configurations at the NOC.
No.
So okay. So the information will be forwarded so that you do what you can do for the customer to browse. About
no problem. You said what you are saying, that it is not binding. Is that not what you said?
Binding is not going through.
Binding is not going
the
through. So the power is good. So what we'll do is that you share the serial number, we'll check. If it's discoverable, we'll do manual binding. But if it's not discoverable, then maybe you may have to change the ONT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there might probably be a mistake where you might use a different serial number, like FIBRE number, to bind different this thing, ONT.
Yeah.
How is that one worked on?
Yes, you know, when you do that, you quickly have to report to NOC that you have made a mistake. So they should create work order for you. You know, the one you have just binded, okay? You ask them to, what you call it, delete it, okay? And then recreate the work order. You get me? Maybe you are using a particular fiber number, but you binded it to a wrong serial number, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. So you just tell them, you just give them the fiber number, ask them to delete it, okay? To delete it, then you ask them to create, what do you call it, the work order for you again. Then you bind it with the correct serial number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chief.
All right. Thanks. Still have your hand up, or is there a new question?
Yeah. Did you mention?
Yes. I see your hand up.
All right. So it was concerning what Solo's question. You know, the account configuration, right? We have at the NOC, they have the VAS profile. So sometimes when the VAS profile is not well configured, the account will not browse. Aside the fact that it might be offer ID issue, if the VAS profile is not well configured, the account will never be able to browse. That one is to clear what Solo was saying. And then the one who just spoke also was saying you bind someone's fiber number to another serial number. So in that case, those issues are beyond you, the home connection, because at the NOC, there's a way you can swap the serial numbers using the NCE. So when they check and they realize that this account is supposed to be for another person, but then you've binded a serial number connected to that fiber number, they can easily swap that account with a serial number, not even by deleting the account itself. They can just change the serial number when they go to the modification side, the modifiers, that they can change that. So that is also to assist Musa answer your question, the guy who just spoke.
Okay, let me come in again. Okay, you know, sometimes modifying the serial number sometimes comes with issues. In fact, I've encountered an issue before, whereby, you know, we try to modify the serial number and we have issues. So sometimes the best thing is to just
your voice is foul.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, okay, please, can you hear me?
Your voice is very faint.
Okay. Yes, a minute. Let me see.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Good. Okay, maybe it's from his end. Good. What I'm saying is, okay, sometimes when you try to modify the serial number, it doesn't work. It might even result in complex issues. The simplest thing to do is to just delete it and rebind it. And you also talk about VAS profile, okay? When you use OM app to bind, when you use OM app to bind, VAS profile is taken care of automatically. There is no issue of what do you call it, VAS profile. No. It is when you are doing manual binding that if you don't configure the VAS profile properly, that you may have issue. But if you use OM app, the VAS profile is taken care of, because from where we create the account, from the iBridge, you have to enter the account and the password, okay, for it to actually, you know, So usually, what do you call it? Usually, when you are using the OM app, normally we don't usually have issue. That is if this thing. The only time you may have issue is, and even that one maybe, I say maybe the one who is creating the account maybe use a wrong, what do you call it, password, which is rare. It's very, very rare for them to use wrong password, you know, for what do you call it, an account. No, they don't do that. So usually, in fact, the easiest way for the service to come up is with the OM app, because the manual, you know, manual, definitely there are errors. There, that human distance. So sometimes, the person may bind it or may go through the steps and maybe forget to add the accounts at the vast profile. So sometimes it may bind. But with the app, once it goes through, you see succeeded. That's it. It's supposed to work. The only thing that will make it not work is maybe will be data. But once it has gone through, then it will be IT issue, not the binding issue. That is why the app is more reliable than the manual binding. Because the manual binding, we have human errors. Sometimes, not always. You get it? So the assured thing is the OM app. Okay. So when we are in the knock and then you call us, it is the app we use. Because the manual binding is a whole process. Felix will tell you. It's a whole process that you have to go through, and mix one. The service will not come. But if you use the app, everything, once you get that listing clear that it has succeeded, yes, it has succeeded. If it is not browsing, then it is an IT issue, or maybe data is not loaded. That is it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alaji. Can we have Ebenezer? Ebenezer.
Oh, I'm
Ebenezer,
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's a mistake. I'm okay.
Okay. All right. Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. So to add up to about
Eric.
the binding, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so about the binding, by the binding, sometimes you get everything right. You even check your power meter. Baba Musa will say something like you can get maximum 29 dBm. You can even get 27 or 28 with your power meter. Everything is right. But we use SC patch cord and sometimes the same pigtails. So we face the challenge most of the time with the high-rise apartment. They have done everything. The ATB is there. But sometimes the pigtail they use in the ATB is not LC pigtail. It's a blue pigtail. So you go there, you check your power level. Let's say you get 27, which is okay. But as soon as you give your LC patch cord to that particular port, when you give it to the router, you see you are not able to bind. Even though everything is right, you even check the power, you are getting negative 27 dBm. So if we check behind the router, the connector we have behind the router is a LC, which is green. So even though you are getting correct power, as soon as you connect that patch cord to the router, binding will not go through because your power will be increased to at least maybe 3 dB will added to it. So you are going to get, if it's 27, you are going to get 30 or 31. So you even think that, okay, if I'm using SC against APC, then let me remove the patch cord and use the direct connector from the ATB. You will still get the same challenge. You can change the router how many times you want. You can change the patch, change everything, it will not come. So sometimes when you get there and then you realize that the pigtail in the ATB is blue, make sure you change the pigtail to green before you do the connection. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, thank you for this insight because we do encounter this kind of challenge. So, you are in the field. So you see what we are saying is, I think it will help me with some engineers. So when you go and the pigtail is blue, right? You should change it to green, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. All right. It's well noted. Okay, thank you very much.
Adam.
Yeah, hello. Please to add up to what my colleague just said with regards to the power. Okay, so the simplest way can also be for you to just log on after slotting in, just log on to the modem. When you log on to the modem, just go to the system information and just go to optical. You get the right power which is coming into the modem. So that makes it more simpler. That you'll be able to tell whether the power has shut up due to the using a green connector or maybe in a blue port or something. So that is also one thing you can do. So that is what I wanted to add up.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Do we have any more questions? Any more question? Okay. All right, Alaji.
Yes,
I think that'll be all for today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So a concern has been raised, if I remember, with the compatibility of the OM app with latest version of Android, right?
Yes, so, please. Yes, please.
We'll look into that and then get back to you accordingly.
All right, that's fine. I'll engage you, I think, tomorrow. So maybe we can see if we can get GTAG to help with that.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. All right. Our vendors, thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll be having another session for the scanning of the boxes and the ONT using the ODN app. So I think that will be for tomorrow. I'll align the time with your home connection PMs. Then they will engage you on when we are having the training on that. Okay, so thank you all so much. We shall meet tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the evening. All right, bye.
Okay, sir. Okay, bye. Good night.